What's up YouTube, this is Angel. I'm back here again with another video. For today I want to do a vlog or a rant basically talking about are you a video game collector or are you a hoarder? And basically what I mean by that is do you see your game collection or your video game collection as a type of hoarding? And it's basically a hoarder, like, let me give you some information. Basically, a hoarder is a type of, I think it's like, what is it? It's, I don't know how to explain it. Basically what it is, it's like you hoard things and you can't throw away your possessions. So let's say you own all these games, all these DVDs, or you own movie, or you own like magazines, newspapers, whatever, and you can't throw them away when it's time to discard them because they're broken or they're ripped, things like that. And so, do you see your collection as that? Like, would you see it as, oh, like, I mean, or do other people in your life see it as that, like, oh, like, you're just hoarding all these games, like you just buy them just to have them on your shelf collecting dust and you don't even touch them. So I mean, for me, I don't see it as that because because I love gaming and it's my passion, and it's a really good hobby of mine, and I know that it's also a really good hobby of you guys as well. And I mean, it's a big part of all our lives, I mean, video games and video game collecting. Once you start collecting and you start growing your collection and things like that, whether it's in movies, music, CDs, Blu-rays, video game collection. You want that physical. I mean, you want that physical copy because now that everything's all mainstream and it's all digital, I mean, you can't really well, I mean, with a digital, I mean, you can't get a physical copy, you know what I mean? Because it's, I mean, obviously, it's something that's in your system or on your phone or whatnot. And, usually, like, my wife tells me, and she's all like, you have all these games, when are you going to have time to play them? And for me, I've actually decided, at least, like, once a day, when I can and the opportunity presents itself, and I'm able to play these games, I'll play, like, a little bit of each game, so that way I can get into one, and then if I get hooked on one, then I'll continue it, things like that. And recently also like, I've been playing Bulletstorm on the Xbox 360 because they're gonna remaster that for the PS4 and Xbox One and PC also, I believe, next year in April. And they're gonna let you play as Duke Nukem through the whole campaign of the game. So I mean, it's gonna be more high-res textures and excuse me, and more visual fidelity and things like that. But back to the topic at hand. Basically, it's like people see this collection and they're like, "What the hell, Angel? Like, you have so many games. Like, why do you collect them? So aren't some of them collecting dust?" And I say no, because for me, I try to play all these games. When my nephews come over and like, and they want a game and stuff. I mean, I tell them, hey, pick a game, that's like 2, 3, 4 player, and we'll play it, and that's all. Like, I'm also able to play more of my games, and that way they don't, they don't just sit there, I mean, because of time constraints and family, and on this trip to moving to Texas and things like that, I don't have a lot of time to play a lot of games, like the way that I wish I could. And for me, basically, some people in my family, they think, oh, like, you're just hoarding all these things, you don't want to throw them away when it's time to throw them away because they're old. And I tell them no. I mean, to me, these are valuable, because these games, some of these games, you can't find them anymore. Like the original PS2 games or the original Xbox games. I mean, you can't find those anywhere. I mean, you can, we have to look online, or you go to mom and pop stores or like retro stores, or you buy them off of Craigslist, eBay, things like that. But you can't find them in the stores anymore. So you have. I mean, they're basically becoming antiques or like valuables, like I said. And I mean, I don't want to throw them away. I mean, it's my collection, I mean, and they say that when people tell you when basically when you want to throw them away and get rid of your possessions, hoarders, what they'll do is they have like little like anxiety attacks, because you're throwing away their personal things. You know, they just, you know, some people, they'll collect thousands of magazines and newspapers and never read them. They'll just have them there in their house, or they'll have all types of things. I mean, I know this personally because growing up, my mother, she kind of has like this hoarding, like, I mean, because I guess they do it by levels, and it's like level one is like a really basic. You don't want to throw certain things away, you know, magazines, cups, or you know, just basic small things, you know. But it becomes like a cluster, you know, once you have so many of that, you know, in your household, you know, and you don't want to live like that. You don't want to live with a clutter. You want everything to be free and like nice and simple. I mean, once I get my own house and things like that, I mean, I want my house to be nice, simple, you know, and like just good, you know, and like there's no like stuff laying around or newspaper articles or magazines and shit like that. I mean, you're supposed to have things like, for me, like organized, you know, and you wanna have it like perfect, so to speak. And you know, for me, dealing with that, and like, you know, with my mother, you know, having that whole little like hoarding issue, um, you know, sometimes we'll say like we want to clean out the kitchen area of our apartment, and she doesn't want to throw certain things away because she thinks that she's gonna use them later, but in reality she never does. So we throw them away anyway, and like she'll get a little bit of you know, like anxious, or like you know, she'll have like a little bit of like of an anxiety, and not want to throw away her things, and they'll get all bottled up with their emotions, and then they don't want to do anything, and then they start to get mad and angry, and they start freaking out because you're throwing away their stuff. So I mean, me seeing that and dealing with that growing up, it's not, I mean, it wasn't as bad as it was back then. Now it's more, I mean, it's more calmed down. I mean, like, it's more simple. You know, we have everything pretty much just organized, you know, in the house, because I like to be organized. And like, I mean, that's the way that I see it for me and like for my family. And I try to pretty much bestow those things on my mother, you know, so that way she can, you know, just have more, you know, just be clutter free, and be able to, you know, breathe in the air in the whole, breathe in the air in the home. And you know, being a hoarder, it's tough. I mean, there's documentaries on it on Netflix, on Hulu and things like that, on the Discovery Channel, or on certain networks on television. And you know, and some people, it's like obsessive hoarding, where they're like, I think it's like the highest is probably like a level 5 or 6 or beyond, somewhere like that. And that's where it's like massive hoarding. You can't even like walk through your house because you have piles of magazines, newspapers, or just junk, you know. And I don't see myself as a hoarder because I collect all these games, you know. I mean, I see it as a hobby, you know, basically like collecting vinyl records, or collecting movies. Or some people, they collect shoes, you know. Some people, they collect shoes, and they have thousands of different boxes of Nikes and Vans and different types of boots, or whatnot, you know. I mean, my wife, you know, something that she loves and something that's dear to her, like the way gaming is to me, for her it's makeup. And you know, when we have the time to shop, she'll want to buy makeup pretty much like every time we go shopping, you know. And I tell her that, you know, I mean, yeah, I mean, you have a lot of makeup, so what's the point? But then she tells me, well, you have a lot of games, so what's the difference? And I tell her, well, you know, for me, my passion is gaming and collecting video games, and for her, it's makeup. I mean, you know, with the females, and I know some males also. I mean, they like makeup, and they like the whole contouring and a bunch of different type of things with the makeup. And I mean, that's what she's into. You know, I mean, she loves makeup, and I love video games. So they're two opposites, but they're still basically like a collection. And I don't really see it as hoarding because we don't have games lying around, you know, 50 inches high, or you know, like up to our necks, you know, walking around in video games and consoles, or makeup, things like that. You know, I mean, you could consider it as I mean, it's more of a hobby than it is, you know, hoarding. You know, and I just wanted to get that topic out there because it's something that I thought about, you know, with me personally growing up with that, you know, dealing with that with my mother. And you know, I always thought about it as you know, for me, you know, as I collect more video games, and my collection it's expanding, and I bought a bigger shelf from what I used to have before. And you know, my collection is growing, and I hope that one day, you know, once I get a house and I get settled up in Texas and everything like that, I'll be able to have my own game room where I can have my own, you know, freedom with that room, and I can, you know, customize it and design it the way that I want to, because it's my personal like man cave, so to speak, you know. And so no, I don't see it as hoarding whatsoever. And I know you guys, I mean, if you guys have massive collections, because I've seen some people, you know, that have massive collections. You know, there's a YouTuber that I watch a lot. His name's Metal Jesus Rocks, and you know, he's got a collection of over like 2,000 or 3,000 games, and it's a big collection. You know, you have shelves of, you know, 6 feet high, going, you know, going like 3 feet across or 4 feet across, and you know, it's like shelves, you know, just upon games of games and games, and I don't see it at that. I mean, I don't see that as hoarding. I just see it as a collection, as basically like as an enthusiast. Because once you start collecting, you basically become an enthusiast for the passion and for the hobby that you're doing. And for me, I mean, I see it as, you know, just having enthusiasm and collecting. Just like the way my wife uses her makeup, all the different makeup that she has, all the different shades of polish or blush and all this other stuff. That's her thing. You know, that's her hobby, that's her collecting, that's what she likes, because, you know, I mean, she's a woman, you know, and I respect that. Just the way she respects my game collecting, I respect her game collecting, and I don't tell her, you know, I mean, her makeup, you know, and I don't see it as any way, shape, or form as a symptom of hoarding or things like that. But yeah, you guys, that's pretty much just this little VR that I wanted to do. Just this little vlog that I wanted to do, actually, my bad. And just talk about that, get that out, because it's been, you know, like, I've had that thought about that a lot lately, and it's just something that's crossed my mind a lot, you know, with, like I said, with my game collection growing and things like that. So let me know down in the comments down below, you know, how you guys feel. And even if you guys don't comment, you know, just just think about that personally. You know, if you have a mass collection or you're starting to collect, would you think, or other people in your family or in your life, think that you're collecting of whatever it may be? You know, it could be of gaming, it can be of makeup, it can be of vinyl records, it could be of shoes, magazines, or just some certain type of collecting. Do you see that as a hoarding? So yeah, you guys, that's pretty much about it for this video, and I hope you guys enjoy. Thanks.